Urgent Washington Commanders fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Washington Commanders updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Alright, folks, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into some exciting news that's been making waves in the NFL, specifically involving our beloved Washington Commanders. You know, every year, the NFL draft brings a lot of surprises, some expected, some completely out of the blue, but one thing is certain, it's always a roller coaster ride for fans who follow their teams closely. And this year, the Commanders are making some interesting moves, especially on the defensive side of the ball, which could signal a new chapter for the team's future. Let's start by looking at the big picture. The Washington Commanders, for a long time, have been in a bit of a rebuilding phase. After the recent seasons that saw flashes of potential but also moments of inconsistency, the front office has been quite busy in the draft and free agency to try and bolster their roster. And folks, the recent draft class, along with the undrafted free agent signings, shows that the team is serious about building a competitive squad that can contend in the NFC East once again. Now, one of the most talked about stories coming out of the draft involves a promising defensive back from Florida State, Fentrell Cypress II. If you've been following the draft coverage, you already know that Cypress is a guy with a lot of potential. He transferred from Virginia to Florida State ahead of the 2023 season and, over his college career, has appeared in 42 games. That's a lot of experience, folks. He's accumulated 125 tackles, which, for a cornerback, is quite significant, along with 27 passes defended, 4 tackles for loss, 2 fumble recoveries, and an interception. All of these numbers show a guy who's versatile, aggressive, and capable of making plays all over the field. What makes Cypress intriguing, especially for the Commanders, is his performance at Florida State's Pro Day. He clocked a 4.43-second 40-yard dash, which is blazing fast for a cornerback. That kind of speed can be a game-changer in the NFL, especially when covering fast receivers or making plays on the ball. He also recorded a 38-inch vertical jump and a 10'3" broad jump, indicating impressive explosiveness and athleticism. His 3-cone drill was completed in 6.84 seconds, ranking above average for his position. These metrics caught the attention of scouts and analysts alike, and it's no surprise that the Commanders are reportedly set to sign him as an undrafted free agent. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, undrafted free agent? Is he good enough? Well, in the NFL, sometimes the most overlooked players turn into the biggest stars. Remember guys like Richard Sherman, who went undrafted but became a Pro Bowl cornerback. Cypress's background and athletic profile suggest he has the tools to make an impact, especially if he gets the right coaching and opportunity. The fact that he's been a consistent performer in college, combined with his impressive testing numbers, shows he's got the talent to compete at the next level. Plus, with the Commanders' secondary needing depth and youth infusion, Cypress could be a real diamond in the rough. This signing fits into a broader picture of the team's defensive strategy. The Commanders already have a solid corner in Marshawn Lattimore, one of the league's top cover guys, and the addition of Cypress could provide valuable depth and competition. The secondary allowed the 3rd fewest yards in the league last season, which is no small feat, and they're clearly looking to maintain or even improve that performance. Adding a young, athletic player like Cypress could help them do just that, especially with his versatility to play both inside and outside corner. But Cypress isn't the only new face coming into the fold. The draft also saw the Commanders selecting Ole Miss cornerback Trey Amos in the 2nd round at pick number 61. Amos is considered by many analysts to be an elite corner, with excellent ball skills and agility. When you combine his abilities with Cypress's speed and versatility, the Commanders are really stacking up their secondary with some promising young talent. It's an exciting time for fans who've been craving a more aggressive, playmaking secondary that can shut down the league's top receivers. And let's not forget the context of the team's overall roster. The Commanders have been quietly building around their core of talented players. They still have some key veterans, but the focus now is on integrating young talent and developing their draft picks into starters. This approach is essential because the NFL is a league where youth and athleticism often make the difference. By drafting and signing these promising players, the team is signaling its intent to compete sooner rather than later. Now, beyond just Cypress and Amos, the team's draft class and free agent signings include some interesting names. For example, they picked up running back Trey Benson from Arizona, a player with a lot of upside, and safeties like Jamie Robinson also from Arizona, which shows that the team is prioritizing a strong, versatile defense that can adapt to various offensive schemes. The team also added some depth on the offensive line and in the linebacker core, which is crucial for balancing out their roster. If we look at the bigger picture, the Commanders are aiming to build a balanced team that can both run the ball effectively and defend it aggressively. The secondary, in particular, seems to be a focus because that's where the game is often won or lost in today's NFL. The league has become more pass-heavy, and having a secondary that can cover, create turnovers, and provide leadership on the back end is vital. The addition of young, athletic players like Cypress and Amos indicates that the team is trying to establish a foundation for future success. The fans, of course, are eager to see how these new signings translate into on-field performance. It's one thing to have high draft grades and impressive combined numbers, but it's another to produce in the NFL. That's why training camp and preseason will be so critical for players like Cypress. It's during these moments that they get to prove their worth, earn a spot in the rotation, and develop chemistry with their teammates. The coaching staff has a lot of work ahead to get these guys ready, but the potential is definitely there. Speaking of potential, let's talk a little about the team's current outlook. The NFC East remains one of the most competitive divisions in football, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants all vying for supremacy. The Commanders, with their new additions and a more dynamic defense, are positioning themselves to challenge those teams. The goal is clear: return to the playoffs and make some noise. Fans are hungry for a team that can contend, and the front office seems to understand that building through the draft and free agency is the way to go. Now, I want to highlight some of the key stats and recent performances that reinforce this optimism. Last season, Washington's secondary allowed the third fewest passing yards in the league, which is a testament to their discipline and talent. However, injuries and inconsistency have sometimes hampered their ability to close out games. That's where young players like Cypress can make a difference, adding speed, energy, and fresh legs to keep that momentum going. If Cypress can stay healthy and develop his skills, he could become a key piece in that secondary, helping the team take another step forward. And don't forget, the NFL is a league where development is crucial. Players like Cypress need to adapt quickly to the speed and complexity of the professional game. His college career shows he has the talent, but making that leap to the NFL requires discipline, coaching, and a bit of luck. The Commanders' coaching staff has a reputation for developing young talent, and with their focus on scheme versatility and player development, there's reason to believe Cypress's upside can be fully realized. Let's also consider the larger picture of NFL trends. The league is increasingly emphasizing speed, athleticism, and versatility. Cornerbacks who can match up against the league's fastest receivers, safeties who can play multiple roles, and defensive schemes that adapt to spread offenses are all the rage. Cypress's testing numbers and college production suggest he fits right into this mold. The Commanders are clearly aware of this shift and are making strategic moves to ensure their defense stays competitive. Now, what about the fans? You guys have been waiting patiently, and I know many of you are excited about these new prospects. The energy around the team is palpable, and with the draft picks, free agent signings, and strategic planning, there's a sense that the Commanders are turning a corner. The hope is that the team can build a defense that's not only stout against the run but also aggressive enough to force turnovers and create chaos for opposing quarterbacks. From a historical perspective, the Commanders have had their ups and downs, but the franchise has always been capable of assembling talented rosters. This current wave of young talent, combined with veteran leadership, could be the key to unlocking a new era of success. Fans are dreaming of playoff runs, high-profile games, and maybe even a deep postseason push. It's a lot to ask, but the foundation is being laid, piece by piece. As we look ahead to training camp and the upcoming season, keep an eye on Cyprus and the entire secondary. Watch how they gel together, how the coaching staff schemes to maximize their talents, and how players like Trey Amos and others step into bigger roles. The NFL is a league of constant change and adaptation, and the Commanders seem to be on the right track by investing in youth and athleticism. Before I wrap up, I want to remind everyone that this is just the beginning. The offseason is a time for hope, for dreaming big, and for setting the stage for what's to come. The Commanders have a lot to prove, but with these new signings and draft picks, they're definitely making a statement. Fans, you should be excited, the future looks bright, and a new chapter is just getting started. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Are you excited about Cyprus and the other new additions? Do you think they can help turn the team into a playoff contender? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, insights, and all the latest news, so stay tuned and keep supporting your Washington Commanders. The best is yet to come.